So the most recent book, the one that's out right now, that's the one with the video overlay type idea, or was that one of your earlier books?
That's actually there's four in the series, so all four of them have that technology going on.
Okay, so this is a series.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I missed that memo.
But that's I didn't say it, so how would you know it?
Yeah. And what's the title of your series?
I call it the Spark Chronicles,
Okay.
and the books are Spark, Fire, little novella called Orkland, and then the latest book in the series is Embers.
Like it. I like the visualization and all that. Um, so where does the title tie into the story in this virtual
Ooh,
overlay, or am I getting too deep into things?
no, no, no. I mean, this is since Embers is out, you know uh, where the story is going. But Spark came from, I needed to come up with a name for this theme park, right? And I had this vision of earlier in my life, I lived in the high desert in California,
Okay.
and there was a solar power development called Solar One. And then there's been more Solar Two, Solar Three. They've popped up everywhere. And uh, I thought, well, what a cool way to provide power for this park would be to use solar power. And so I thought, okay, so the theme park has a solar farm that is actually the money making part of the operation, and they use that to fund all the quests and attractions. So I didn't want to use Solar One, Solar Two, any of that. So I said, oh, Solar Prime. That factors
Yes.
into my technical background. I go, okay, Solar Prime Augmented Reality Park. But if you just turn that into an acronym, it's SPARK, and that doesn't roll off your tongue very well. And I thought, okay, well, sometimes people that make up acronyms cheat a little bit, and so I said
Yeah.
Spark. I pulled a K from Park, and then everything's good. Uh, and then from there, when I decided to write the sequel, um, and I know you've got a duology out, so I want to talk a little bit about how your second book came about. But mine came about. I had no idea I was going to write a sequel. It was a self-contained, tied everything up, and then I wrote the last sentence, and I had this epiphany. It was like, whoa, there's way more to this story. And so, I started getting all these crazy ideas about where I wanted it to go. And so then, okay, now I've got Spark. What comes after Spark? Fire. Okay. And then, well, a spark and a fire, something ought to actually burn. And then what happens after it burns is you have the embers left over.
Sure.
So that's kind of the arc of the series thus far.
Okay. Well, and being from California, as you well know, Ember can easily be cut by those Santa Ana winds and leap back into fire and even into something far greater. So
Yeah.
I can imagine should you find a hook, there might be a little bit more to this series than just
Yep.
what you're imagining in this moment.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I've actually turned away from it now. I'm starting a new, or I'm well through my next book, um, and it's same universe but completely different characters and aimed at a different demographic. So we'll see how that all goes.
Get you. That's the thing, I know we have to focus on one story at a time, but sometimes my mind wants to go in five different directions at once. And there's so many stories. I'm like, ooh, there's this storyline. And while I'm working on this, ooh, that's an idea. And sometimes I have to really make myself focus on the one story.
Yeah.
Um, 'cause
Yes.